Jai Hind students, myself Praveen Kumar, Assistant Professor in Ajay Kumar Garg, Engineering College, Ghaziabad, and today we are going to discuss about the topic that is wind energy introduction. Wind energy introduction. So this is basically a part of the subject renewable energy resources. Subject code is KOE 074. So let us discuss about the wind energy. So as far as the contents of the today's video lectures are concerned, I will basically discuss about the brief introduction about the wind energy, then the availability of the wind energy, then I will briefly discuss about the wind turbines which can be used to utilize the wind energy to convert the wind energy, or you can say wind power, into electrical energy or electrical power. Then brief introduction about the classification, then I will discuss about the site selection and the criteria which should be met to set up a windmill or wind power plants. We will discuss. Then at last I will discuss about the offshore and wind system location, along with some merits and demerits and the limitations of the wind energy system. So let us start the discussion one by one. So as far as the introduction about the wind energy and the availability is concerned, so this is the diagram. Here you can see a large pole is there, and we have 3 blades, and there are many such types of poles are located, and this is basically a plain area. Okay, so the basic area is that the design of these blades is such that when the winds hit with these blades, then they start rotating either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise, and that kinetic energy of the rotation of the blade is converted into electrical energy with the help of wind turbines. So we will discuss about it in the coming slides in brief also. So wind power is basically usually generated by wind turbines which are situated either on onshore or offshore areas. Okay, so basically here we use the kinetic energy of the winds. So basically kinetic energy of the wind is basically measured as the cubic proportion to its velocity, and is being used for century in water pumping, windmills, irrigation field and navigation systems. So basically wind energy is utilized by means of windmills. So many projects on the windmill system for water pumping and for production of small amount of electrical power have been taken up in our countries, and I will brief about the progress of the wind energy in our country in the coming slides. So you must feel proud after seeing the achievements in this area by the India. So as far as the wind energy availability is concerned, the wind power generation capacity in India has significantly increased in recent years. So it is significantly increasing. Okay. So as on 30th September 2022, this is latest data, around 1 month old. The total installed wind power capacity of India was 41.6 gigawatts. Gigawatts means 10 raised to power plus 9 watts. And this is basically the 4th largest installed power capacity in the world. So what are the other 3 countries? This is the 4th largest. So this is a proud moment for all the Indians. This is the 4th largest installed capacity power in the whole world, which consists of basically more than 200 countries. Okay, so the 3 other countries are China, number 1. We have USA and Germany. So these are the 3 other countries: China, USA and Germany, and 4th one is India. So that means this is a proud moment for all of us. So wind power cost in India are basically decreasing rapidly, and this is one of the reasons why we have a bright futures, or you can say green energy futures for the India in the coming future. So the levelized tariff of wind power reached a record low of rupees 2.43 per kilowatt hour without any direct or you can say indirect subsidies from the governments or the central bodies during the auction for wind project in December 2017. But there is a slight increase in the tariff. This is 2.77 rupees in 2021, but still it is cheaper than the other source of energy. But the major problem which we will discuss at the end of this video lecture also, the transportation, because these plants are basically set up at the onshore or offshore area near to coastal areas. So this is a biggest problem, transportation of energy. So we will see it. So however, the levelized traffic have increased to rupees 2.77 per kilowatt hour in March 2021. But it is still cheaper. In December 2017, the Union government has announced the applicable guidelines for the tariff-based wind power auction to bring more clarity and basically to minimize the risk to the developers. So you can say if you are setting up a wind power plants or wind mills, then you can take insurance just like a human being insurance, so that most of your risk is covered by the insurance company, and they are basically government subsidiaries or government bodies or central government bodies. So as far as the India is concerned, so this is basically diagram of installed wind power capacity and generation in India since 2007. So you can see the installed capacity in megawatts, that is 10 raised to power 6 watts. It goes on increasing day by day. So you can say in 6-7 we have 7850 installed capacity only, and then rapidly it increases up to 40,355 megawatts, or you can say 40,000, around roughly 40,000 gigawatts you can say. Okay, and then is the generation in gigawatts hours. This is installed capacity. As far as generation is concerned, you can see here in this figure the data from 16 till 13-14 is missing. Why it is so? It is so because in the past 7-8 years before 2014, there was no audit for the wind energy generation. So when the BJP government came into power, then they said we have to set up some standards, we have to set up some measures to find out how much we achieved. So if you can't measure, then how can we say that we are doing good or bad in a particular areas? Okay, and when the world is going through energy crisis, you can say due to Russia-Ukraine wars and due to several other European countries issues, especially in winters, it is a proud moment for India that we are becoming self-independent. We are becoming self-independent, and you can say self-dependent and independent from the outer bodies. You can say worldwide bodies, specifically in the area of power generation. That may be solar power, that may be wind power. Okay, that may be hydro power also. So when we do the audit in 2014-15, then the generation was 28 gigawatts, and now it is 68 gigawatts. So you can say this is significantly, roughly an increase of around 250%, to 40 to 50% increase from 14 to 2021-22. So this is from last, you can say 8 years, we are increased by 250%, 2.5 folds times. That's a very good achievement. So this is the installed wind power capacity, you can say. So this is the same number. So as far as the installed wind capacity by state as on 31st March 2021 is concerned, these are the leading states of India which contribute to the generation of energy with the help of wind power, windmills. So total capacity, this is basically, so Tamil Nadu is the leader. Then we are followed by Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana and Kerala. So you can see that most of these areas are situated at the coastal areas near to the sea. So we will see in the site selection criteria also. For the wind energy system to be successful, the area must be plain and the wind speed should be high, and it is preferably located or situated near the coastal areas. Then the efficiency should be high. Obviously there are some drawbacks also, that how to transport the energy. Transport cost is also high. But as far as the concerned, Tamil Nadu is the leader, followed by Gujarat and Maharashtra, as far as the wind energy capacity is concerned. So as far as the availability is concerned, so following are some of the developments. Kajri windmill at Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Then we have WP2 water pumping windmill by NAL Bangalore. Then we have MP1 sail windmill at NAL Bangalore. Then we have windmill at Central Salt and Marine Chemical Research Institute, that Bhavnagar, that is in Gujarat. And 20 PU 50 windmill at NAL Bangalore again. And we have Madurai windmill at Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and Tayabji windmill at Tilonia near Ajmer, again in Rajasthan. Okay. So these are the top 10 sites of power plants which are basically operated with the help of wind energy. So first one is the Mupandal Wind Farm. Producer is Mupandal Wind Power Generation Company. Location is in Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, and the capacity is 1500 megawatts electric unit. Then we have Jaisalmer Wind Park. This is basically operated by Suzlon Energy, and location is in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan, and the capacity is 1064 megawatts, and so on. You can see. So these are the 10 sites. The last one, 10th one is Mamatkheda Wind Park, and this is Orange Renewable Energy, operated by Orange Renewable Energy, and this is in Mamatkheda, Madhya Pradesh, and its megawatts capacity is around 100 megawatts electric power. So these are the top 10 sites in India, for power plants in India, which are operated with the help of wind power, wind energy. Okay. So you can say we have ample space for the wind energy generation in India specifically. So the next point which I will discuss is the wind turbines. So basically how to convert the wind energy, wind kinetic energy into electric power. So wind turbines basically play an important role in this. So wind turbine, like windmills, are mounted on a tower to capture the most energy, and this energy is basically captured by the speed of the wind flowing. So at 100 feet, or you can say 30 meter roughly or more above ground, they can take advantage of the faster and less turbulent wind. So main thing is that when the wind is blowing, the speed should be constant or almost constant. Otherwise there is basically many difficulties running out the turbines. So turbine catch the wind energy with their propeller like blades, and usually 2 or 3 blades are mounted on a shaft to form a rotor, rotating parts. Okay, and the blade act much like an aeroplane wings. When the wind blow, a pocket of low pressure air form basically on the downside of the blades, and they start rotating either in clockwise or in anti-clockwise, and then that is converted into electrical energy. So as far as the wind turbines is continued, the low pressure air pocket then pull the blade toward it, causing the rotor to turn, rotate, and this is called lift. This process is called lift, and the force is basically to lift. It is basically actually much stronger than the wind force against the front side of the blade, which is called drag. Okay, so lift and drag mechanism is used to rotate the blades of the wind turbines, you can say, and the combination of lift and drag basically causes the rotor to spin like a propeller. Okay, and the turning shaft spin a generator to make it electrically, and the propeller, and we have a turning shaft which is linked with the propeller and also linked with the generator, which convert this energy, kinetic energy of the wind, into electrical energy. And wind turbine can be used as standalone applications, or they can be connected to a utility power grid, or even combined with a photovoltaic solar system. So you can say, as far as we have discussed in our previous videos lecture also, so this solar, wind, these all types are all the types of sorry, these all are the types of renewable source of energy, or you can say green energy, future energy concepts. So if the wind turbine output, or you can say wind energy output, is not enough capable to run out the heavy industry, you can say, then you can merge it with the solar cell, solar power plants, and they combinedly operate and run the heavy industry also. Okay, so they may act in collaboration with the solar industry also. So the future is very bright as far as India is concerned for both solar and wind. So the low pressure air pocket, then pull the blade. Just wait a minute. Okay, so next point is, so the for utility scale source, the wind energy, a larger number of wind turbines are usually built very close together to form a wind plants. So there are many such setup, and several electricity provider today use wind plants to supply power to their customers, just like Suzlon Energy, you can say. Even Adani set up a very big power plants which is run by the wind energy in Rajasthan recently. And standalone wind turbines are typically used for water pumping or communication. However, homeowner, farmer, and the ranchers in windy area can also use wind turbine as a way to cut their electricity bill. Okay, small wind system can have potential as distributed energy resources also. And distributed energy resources basically refer to a variety of small modular power generating technology that can be combined to improve the operation of the electricity delivery system. Okay. So next we have the classification of the wind turbines. So as far as the classification of wind turbines are concerned, they are classified into two categories. One is the horizontal axis wind turbine, and the second one is the vertical axis wind turbine. So this is the basic diagram for the horizontal axis wind turbines and for the vertical axis wind turbine. So you can see here, what is the basic difference between two is the location of the blades with respect to the earth level. So we can see here, we have this rotor diameter from this point to this point, this one. We have tower, we have generator, gearbox, blade, and rotor. And same thing is here, but here these blades are placed vertically with respect to ground level, and they are placed horizontally here. We have again rotor, blades, gearbox, generator. So this is the classification of the wind turbines in broad: horizontal axis wind turbine and vertical axis wind turbine. Let us discuss about a little bit more about these types of wind turbine in the coming slide. So as far as the classification is concerned, the horizontal axis wind turbines, basically the orientation of these turbines are kept along the horizontal axis and can be divided into such types of wind turbines based on the blades: mono blade machine, twin blade machine, three blade machine, and multi blade machine. So as far as the mono blade machine is concerned, you can see this is the diagram. So these are simple in construction and installation is easy, but they are also having the low cost and easy maintenance, and they can produce a power up to 15 kilowatt to 50 kilowatts. So this is, you can say around 50 house can be energized with the help of this monoblade type machine wind turbine, horizontal type. And they are basically generally used for pumping, battery charging, and other agriculture purpose also. Then we have twin blade machines in which we have two blades. So these machines are basically rated from 1 megawatts to 3 megawatts, or you can say 1 kilowatt to 3 kilowatt, 1000 watt to 3000 watt you can say, and they are less costly than the 3 blade machine, but having large vibration during the running. So as the capacity increase, the vibration also increase. So this vibration is basically caused due to the unequal force at lower vertical position of the rotor. Then we have third one, the 3 blade machine. So they are high in cost, but they are the most efficient, you can say. And these machines are rated from low capacity 15 kilowatt to higher capacity up to 3 megawatts. And then we have more than 3 blades, you can say multi blades, maybe 4 or 5 or more blades. So this is the multi blade diagram having high starting torque characteristics. So these machines are used for pumping of water generally, because water have to take out from a very much depth from the earth. Sorry. Then if we classify them according to vertical axis wind turbine, so these turbines are basically mounted on the ground level and their blade go from top to bottom, and these are basically of two type based on their design. First one is the Savonius type rotor and second one is the Darius type rotor. So you can see the construction wise the difference is there. Savonius type rotor, we have two blades which are vertically, and we have Darius type rotor, again we have two blades but they are tilted out toward outward areas to form a closed loop such type, and this is basically inverted S type structures. So the mechanism is same. When this blade rotates, then they are connected with the shaft, they are connected with the generator, rotor, and that kinetic energy of the rotating of the blades is converted into electrical energy. So the next point and most important point is wind energy site selection. How to select the site for the wind energy? So if you select the site, then several factors are: wind speed, location features. So as far as the wind speed is concerned, when locating a wind turbine take into account the site average wind speed, minimum wind speed of 11 to 13 miles per hour, that is around 6 meter per second are desirable, and small differences in the wind speed make big differences at the output, since the electricity produced by wind turbine is the cube of the wind speed. So if it is increased by some extent, then 3 times it is affected, because it is depend on the cube of the wind speed. As an example, all other things being equal, a site with 16 mile per hour wind instead of 14 will generate 50% more electricity. So if you have one site in which the speed of the airflow or wind is 14 miles per hour, and if it is suddenly increased to 16 miles per hour, then you can say roughly an increase of around 7 to 8% in the wind speed, but the power generation is increased by 50%. So this is the beauty of the wind energy power plants. Then we have location features. If you selecting the sites, then location features play a very important role again. Just like wind energy, on the onshore system, the highest point is often the one of the best windy area, you can say. But there are other elements that should be considered as several constraints, just like valley, mountain, and the forest. Especially in forest, we have very large set of trees and fences, and they may have a big impact on the wind direction and speed and on the best locations. So trees, building, and the other obstruction you should site your turbine not only in a high wind area but also far enough from buildings, tree tops, fences. It's find a good clearing and put the wind turbine on a sufficiently tall tower. Find a good clearing and put the wind turbine on a sufficiently tall tower height. Okay. So these two parameters. First one is the wind speed, second is the location feature. Then the third point is location and the prevailing winds. So you can say the wind direction may vary significantly, but there are basically prevailing direction that you should study. The turbine should face the wind flow direction directly, you can say at 180 degree, and they should get the turbine without any obstruction. Then we have local requirements for the site selections. This basically take into account when planning a wind system location. The local requirements should also take care. So they vary and may include environmental assessment, studies on the impact on the wildlife or on the communication, maybe local air tariff for instance. Then we have environmental issues. While selecting out the sites, we have some environmental issues also. So this is the most important. So in the case of large and medium wind turbines and system, an environmental impact assessment involving potential noise or wildlife impact may be necessary, because when the blade of the wind turbines are rotating and by default if some birds come into that particular areas of the rotating turbines blades, then definitely casualty happen to that bird and our performance of the wind turbines also get affected, and if sometime it may happen the blade may also damage, so maintenance cost will increase and you have to shut down your wind power plants, windmills at that time for a certain times for the maintenance purpose also. Okay, so environmental issues always there for the wind energy site selection purpose. Then we have one turbine location and aesthetic. So aesthetic is basically often between the major objection to the development of wind energy system and a question that shouldn't be minimized when studying their location. So to get high wind speed, turbine have often to be located on high and very visible place with possible negative aesthetic impact. Okay. Then we have transmission infrastructure. This is most important. As we see, we are setting up the power plants, wind and mill power plants in the coastal areas. So where the location population density of the people is not rich as like you can say our urban areas or specifically in less than rural areas also. So when selecting a site, the existence and the proximity of high voltage line is an important advantage. So transmission infrastructure is that we have a proper transmission mechanism. So running a power line from utility grid to a remote site location basically involve a very high cost. This cost is basically you can see $15,000 to more than $50,000 per miles. This is per miles means per miles means 1.6 kilometer. 1 miles means 1.6 kilometer, 1600 meter you can say, depending on the types of the ground. Then we have wind energy offshore and wind system location. Wind energy offshore and wind system location. So the offshore location of the wind farm may allow some of the very important advantage over onshore location. So we have availability of large areas, particularly suitable for major projects. Okay, and the higher wind speed often increase with the distance from the shore. So higher wind speed should be require less turbulence and existence of obstruction. Building over the mountain and the consequently more favorable wind pattern and less negative wind loads and higher turbine lifetime. Less the turbulence, higher the lifetime, turbine lifetime. Lower wind allowing the use of relatively shorter tower. Okay, so these are the wind energy offshore and wind system location constraints. So as far as, so this is a brief about the wind energy. Then before we end today's video lectures, let us discuss about the silent features, so the merits as well as demerits of the wind energy. So these are the, you can say, brighter areas, greener areas, merits. So merits of wind energy are, they are basically abundance, availability for no price. They are basically available free of cost, abundance. Okay. So useful at remote place, also for electricity generation, remote place, and can be utilized for end user, non-polluting and eco-friendly, and can be utilized for end user also, such as hybrid energy source. You can see wind, photovoltaic, etc. And they are basically suitable for power supply at offshore and onshore, such as hilly regions and sites, cheaper installation cost, and almost negligible recurring expenses. So these are some of the silent features, merits, you can say, or advantage of the wind energy. Now let us discuss about a little bit about the darker side also. Wind energy demerits. Demerits of wind energy. So less favorable in city location, basically, as the wind is available at higher location. It is unreliable and intermittent. It is not available regularly. Unreliable. So it may happen that sometime the wind is blowing with very high speed, and sometime it's suddenly it start and not flowing for maybe some days or even some months. So flow of wind is not guaranteed. Okay, this is another demerit or disadvantage, darker feature of this technology. Throughout the years, therefore it is used continuously, supply power station is not feasible. So due to the basically fluctuating nature of the wind blowing, the produced mechanical energy has to be stored by some means, that is like battery storage, you can say. And present day energy system are basically source of immense noise pollution. So this is one of other, they are the major source of immense pollution, and this pollution is basically in the form of, you can say, noise pollution, because when the wind turbines blades are rotating, then we are getting noisy environment around them, so it is not desired, specifically for human beings, or you can say all the living existence. So before ending today's lectures, let us discuss a brief about the environmental impact and the limitation of the wind energy. So wind turbine can safely be operated within the range of 5 meters per second to 24 meter per second wind speed, and basically the propeller land is required for installation of wind turbines free from tall building tower. It means line of sight problem is not there, and fatal collision of the birds caused by rotating turbine blades should be avoided. Okay. So that's all about for today's lectures. In our today's lectures, students, we have discussed about the wind energy, introduction about the wind energy, and where India stand in case of wind energy generation system. So we can proudly say that we are the top 4 countries in the around the world, out of the 200 plus countries which are doing a significantly good contribution toward this greener energy. And you can say in future, if our government taking good step, just like in last 7-8 years, just like doing the auditing, then the day is not far when we are, you can say, fully dependent or completely fully dependent on ourselves and completely independent from the world scenario, just like energy crisis in Russia, Ukraine war, in European Union countries, Britain's, USA, like this. So that's a good point for us to utilize the energy which is available free of cost. Okay, so this is a types of renewable source of energy. So these are some of the references which I have referred. So these are some of the references, and I have taken the help of this Wikipedias and government sites also to take the latest data for all of you. Thank you, students. and Jai Hind.